sit straight. Keep your back straight. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your breathing. Observe your breathing. Observe the cool air entering the nostrils and the warm air flowing out. Let us go for deep breaths. As you inhale, the abdomen bulges out. As you exhale, the abdomen sinks in. As you inhale, the abdomen bulges out. As you exhale, the abdomen sinks in. A few more deep breaths. With each exhalation, relax your entire body. Drop your shoulders down. Let us chant 3 Omkaras together. Take a deep breath in. Observe the vibrations of Omkara throughout your body. Namaskara at the heart center. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palm together. Cup them on your eyelids. With a few blinks and a gentle smile on your face, slowly open your eyes. So for today's session, we'll not be doing any asanas, but it will be filled with a lot of activity that we are going to do together. So let me first share the screen. Can you all see me? Can you all see the screen? Can you all see the screen? Okay, very good. Now, let's have a quick recap of last class. The last session, we saw what was the basis of human existence, the different layers of human existence, where we saw the story of Bhrigu and his father Varuna, and how Bhrigu asked his father, what is the nature of Brahman? And Varuna gives him the answer, and with Nididhyasana, that is contemplation, Bhrigu discovers different layers of human existence, and we saw the first layer, that is the Annamaya Kosha. Now for this session, let us continue with what is Bhrigu's contemplation during the next phase. So when Bhrigu asks Varuna about Brahma, Varuna's answer was that from which all beings are born, that from which they live, and that from which they dissolve into Brahman. But the nature of the Brahman is always existence, right? It is not getting destroyed. It is always there. So is the physical body permanent? We all know. It is from the time we are born, it is slowly degenerating, right? Each and every cell is degenerating. So it is not a permanent entity. So Bhrigu comes up with, okay, so this is not permanent. It is his own intuition that says that I have to contemplate more, because this cannot be the nature of Brahman. There is a very nice quote from Swami Vivekananda. There is no false or there is no wrong knowledge when it comes to yoga. It is from truth to truth, from lower truth to higher truth. So first, what Bhrigu found that the Annamaya Kosha, food body, is the basis of all the existence. Now, this is a lower truth. Now, when Bhrigu starts contemplating more on the existence of humans, he gets into more subtler aspects of our existence. What are those subtler aspects? We are going to look at it just like an onion. We peel the layers off. So just like that, he started peeling different layers of human existence. Now the outer layer that all of us see, experience very well, we can see it from our eyes, is physical body. Now we are getting in deeper. The outer layer of the onion is very well seen, but the inner layers, to see it, you have to remove the outer layer and go in depth. So now Bhrigu removes the outer layer and goes into the inner layer. So what is that inner layer? The first inner layer that Bhrigu discovers is Pranamaya Kosha. So all of us have heard pranayama. Every one of us know pranayama, and very loosely it is translated to breathing exercise. But pranayama is not breathing exercise. As we go on deeper into the class, we will see what it is. We will experience what it is. Now, this entire session, I designed in such a way that I do not give you too much of theory. It is just an outlook of what is prana, but I would like to give you the experience of prana. We are going to see how to experience different pranas in the body, especially one very easily experienced prana. So now he is going to the next level of finding. He finds that there is a energy, vital energy within the body. What is this vital energy? First, let us look at how did he discover this layer of existence. Now, there are so many different varieties of life on this earth, right? Be it plants, insects, humans, animals. Even in animals, there are so many varieties. Why so many different uh, uh, shapes and sizes? Now, matter is a gross element, right? The physical body, the food that we eat is a gross. But why is it? How is that matter forming into so many different shapes? How is it giving that shape? Matter cannot do that, because matter is doesn't have its own intelligence. So how is this happening, right? So when Bhrigu started contemplating on that, it is the energy. He came up with the concept of prana. Not came up with he discovered the concept of vital energy. Now, what is this vital energy? You're eating food, but it is becoming your physical body. When you were a child, you ate some food, you didn't become, if you see, we are eating the same food. An animal also eats, let's say it eats the same fruit that we are eating, but it is becoming into an animal, but we are becoming into a human being. We are not becoming into an animal by eating the same food. So what is it that is deciding that you become a human and that becomes an animal? Now science gives it to genes, as a, they generalize it that it is the genes, but in yogic sciences we refer to this as prana, vital energy. Vital energy is the one that gives the plant. Now a plant, a seed is growing, right? A seed becomes a sprout. How does it get that energy to come out of that seed? Now if you are like, let's say we have green gram or rajma, that is red kidney beans in our house, you are keeping it in the box in the shelf, it stays just like that, it doesn't sprout. Now you put it in water, leave it for a day, then you will remove it from the water and you will let it sprout. How does a seed that is laying dormant for so many days when is sprouting and becoming into a plant? It is a wonderful, that is, isn't it? It feels like a miracle. If you give a little attention to it, it feels like a miracle. How is it happening? All these days it was on my shelf. I felt it is a dead entity. But now I put it in water, suddenly there is life sprouting out of it. What is it that is giving that energy to it? That is something we have to, contemplate on. So when we contemplate these things, we notice very subtler aspects of life, right? So prana is the one that gives that seed the energy to sprout the life out of the seed. And that is the one that gives the sprout the energy to defy gravity. What is defying gravity? Gravity is pulling the seed. When you plant it on the earth, it is pulling the seed downward, right? Gravity pulls it. We also feel it. We have such a big body, but it is pulling us down. We are sticking to the earth. We are not flying. We are not in space. Our bodies are not floating around. How are we walking on this earth? Because of gravity. But a single sprout that is so small is defying gravity. It pushes the gravity down and it sprouts up. It comes up as a plant. So how is it that it has that energy? That energy is called as prana. The vital energy is the one that gives the energy for that plant to push the gravity down and bring itself up into a plant. It is a wonderful, if you pay small attention to it, it actually seems like a miracle, isn't it? We think plants don't have intelligence or plants don't have strength, but if you notice it, they have a different kind of intelligence. They have different kind of growth that we are not paying attention to. If we pay attention, it becomes very, very evident to us. Now, there is a beautiful story about prana from Prashnopanishad. Now, this Prashnopanishad is so beautiful. It is, the entire Upanishad is about a student, 6 of students asking questions to their guru. We think that we should not ask questions, but that is not how it is. It is encouraged to ask questions. Only if you ask question, you will not assume. You will not assume that, okay, this is how this is. No. When you have a doubt, you have to ask questions and clear it. So the Prashnopanishad is all about 6 students asking their teacher questions, and those questions were answered by their guru. Now in this, there is a very beautiful story that I would like to tell you here about Prana. Now when so the guru talks about Prana, and he says to his students how important Prana is. So once it seems the body, all the senses of the body were arguing who is important. So the hearing said, I am very important. If I was not there, you couldn't hear any sounds. So if hearing is not there, you can't hear any sounds. So I am very important. Then the nose argued, no, beautiful smells. I am able to smell so many things that are very nice. I can tell which is bad and which is good by smelling. So I am great. Then the tongue argued, no. I am eating, I am tasting everything. I am giving the body so much of, good things to experience. So I am great. Then the sense of touch said, no. See, if there is heat or if there is cold, I am the one that is protecting the body, right? I feel it and I move away or I protect myself. So that like that, all of them are arguing. So they decided all of us will leave the body one after the other, and we will see when we leave who is great. So when they decided that, one by one they went out. Rest of the senses remained in the body. So when the hearing went out, what happens when someone can't hear? What do we call them? We call them deaf, right? Then nose. They couldn't smell good, smells. Nothing went bad. Then taste. Even then, people didn't, the human being or the body doesn't feel any difference. So like this, they went one after the other. Now next, the prana, the vital energy, was looking at all of them. He's like, okay, you decide what all you want to argue about. Then when all the senses came back, prana left the body. What happens when prana leaves the body? You have all the senses. All the senses are present. But when prana leaves the body, what do we call that body as? Dead body, isn't it? There is no use of having all these senses if you do not have the vital energy in the physical body. So that is the beautiful story in Prashnopanishad that the Guru tells all his students. Now the next aspect, beautiful aspect that we have to see is the earth that we live in, right? The soil that we touch. What do we call? Generally, most of us are Indians here, so we know. Kya bulate hain? What do we call the earth as? Can anyone unmute and tell me?
Mother Earth.
Yeah, Mother Dharti Ma.
Dharti Ma. Ma bulate hain na? So, yeah. What does it mean? That means we do not treat it as a matter. We consider it as a living being. So even the earth, why do we call it as mother? Because even the earth has vital energy, prana. That vital energy, because of that vital energy only, we are all living on this earth, right? So it's a beautiful practice that we all have by calling the earth the mother. Even if we are not consciously aware of it, but it is embedded in our culture, in our language. It's very beautiful, isn't it, when we understand why we do this? It is because it is a living entity. It has prana. Now let's see the next concept here. This is a very, very beautiful pranayama mantra that is taken from Prashnopanishad. So again, in Prashnopanishad, the Guru, when he is talking about prana to his students, he recites this particular mantra, which we use it before performing any pranayama. So all of us will just chant together. Namaskara at the heart center. You can look at the screen and chant with me or repeat after me. Pranasyedam Vashe Sarvam Tridiveyat Pratishtitam Mateva Putran Rakshasva Shrishcha Pragnancha Videhi Naiti. Nice. Drop your hands down. Now the meaning. Let's look at the meaning of this shloka. So all that exists in the three worlds is under the governance of prana. What are the three worlds that we are talking about? The Bhuloka, Patala Loka and Satya Loka. So all the three lokas, I will not go into depth about explaining the lokas here, because it is we are looking to learn about prana and not about the lokas. So I'm just explaining the shloka here. So just like a mother protects his children, we are praying to that prana to give us prosperity and wisdom. We are bowing down to the prana to give us prosperity and wisdom. Now, in this session, I planned to make you all experience subtler aspects of human existence. So now we will do a small observation of the human body. Okay, so we will do a small experiment and we will observe the difference what is happening even when we breathe with subtle changes in our body. Sit with your spine straight. Place your palm facing upward on your thigh. Palm facing upward. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your breathing. Observe your breathing. Bring your awareness to your chest, your lungs. Let's go for deep breaths. Inhale, fill your lungs completely. Exhale, empty your lungs completely. Now bring your awareness to your lungs and observe where the air is filling. A few more breaths and I want you to observe your lungs, your chest region. Now slowly place your palm facing downward on your thigh, palm touching your thigh. Once again, let's go for deep breaths. Inhale and fill your lungs. Exhale completely. Pay complete attention and observe the difference. Very slowly open your eyes. Now, can anyone tell me, did you observe any change? There's no right or wrong, whatever you observed. There was a subtle difference, isn't it? So I want to know if any of you observed.
Like what I think I observed is basically when in the second time when we are touching our thighs, it's basically feel that energy is going within yourself. That's what I
Okay.
a little bit warmness or thing. That's where I was. Other thing I didn't feel any difference.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else felt anything different?
I felt my chest, like I could feel my chest expanding a bit, which normally doesn't happen when I'm breathing. It is just, I think maybe because I was focusing.
Okay. So did you observe where it was expanding?
Yeah, near somewhere near my heart, like in that area. I could
Very
feel
nice.
an expansion.
Very nice. So anyone else wants to share any experience with me? Or what you observed? Okay. So let me tell you. What is happening is when you place your palm facing upward, your upper lobe of the lungs is getting filled with the air. Okay? You'll feel that you're filling up with more air in your upper part of your lungs. When you place your palm down, your lower lobe of the lungs is getting filled. Can we try it once again? Just close your eyes. 2 breaths while keeping your palm upward and keep your palm downward and go for 2 more deep breaths. And let me know if you saw the change, if you observed the change. You feel it, Gayatri ji?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely yes.
Yes. So why I wanted you to do this exercise is our body, even our physical body is so sensitive. Just a small change about facing your palm upward or downward, it is changing. How is that happening? We are not doing it consciously. Were you conscious? But because the first time when we did, you didn't notice this, right? So prana is that wonderful. The breath changes in your physical body when you change the way we sit, the way we stand, what we listen to, what we are exposing ourselves to. Depending on that, our prana will change. Let's say we are exposed to high noise. You might not observe or you might not feel that prana is, the energy is getting affected, but you will definitely experience headache or pain in some part of the body, isn't it? That is not because of we think, oh, I got an headache. We think it is a gross thing that is affecting us. It's actually the prana that will get affected. The vital energy is very, very subtle, and it is affected, or if it is energized, or it is activated by different sounds, which we will see as we go. Now the next very, this is a very important topic, but at the same time I would not go in depth about this topic because it is necessary to know about these pranas. There is pancha prana. There are 5 kinds of prana in the body which manages the human our entire bodily functions. Why? Let us see. Why 5 kinds of prana? Now these are the 5 different varieties of prana, and let us see how these pranas are different and how it is helping our human existence or our body in managing for our life, right? So what are the 5 kinds? Vyana, Udana, Apana, Samana and Prana. These are the 5 kinds of prana in the body. It is even called as Vayu or Prana. Now first one, let us look at Udana Prana. Now what is this Udana? Udana is upward movement. See, we think that when we hiccup, when we get burps, so generally our at least for me, what my experience was, I just thought, okay, I've eaten something, so in the stomach there was no gas, I mean there was more gas, so it is coming out, right? That is what we all think. But we do not think of it like even it is moving, it is defying the gravity, the air is defying the gravity and coming upward, isn't it? The gravity is pulling it down, but the air is coming out. How does that happen, right? So when we know this concept, I was very excited that, oh my god, I never thought about this in my life. The air that is inside the stomach is coming out of the body. It's not required in the body, so there is an energy that is forcing it out. You're coughing, you're belching, right? So all this is happening because of the Udana energy, the what do you call, the vital energy. So this is the Udana part of the vital energy is helping our body to remove all the unwanted air, unwanted toxins from the body upward. Okay. Now the next one we want to look at is Apana. Apana is responsible for downward movement. So why downward movement? Now upward movement, okay, it is defying the gravity. Now downward movement also, don't we need energy, removing all the excretions? If most of us would have experienced constipation in some part of our life, it feels so horrible, right? It is, even though there is gravity, we still can't excrete easily. So Apana Vayu is very, very important. It helps in removing that prana, that unwanted all the menstruation, like bleeding, everything, all these, removing all these things from the body downward. Whatever you remove it from downward, it is by Apana Prana. Now the next one is Samana. Samana is the one that helps us assimilate the whatever food you have eaten. All the cells absorb them. They need energy, isn't it? Even for us, even to eat food, going from here to here, don't we need energy? Moving our hand upward and downward, we need energy. That's why when someone goes through a surgery, or when they're tired, or when you are on anesthesia, you're fed, because you do not have the energy even to move your hand. So that assimilation, that the absorption of all these nutrients is taken care by Samana. Next is Vyana. Vyana is responsible for movement throughout the body. It is responsible for feeling, touching. You get goosebumps, you get different experience different temperatures. All this is taken care of by prana. Even the movement, the circulation of blood throughout the body, so the nerve impulses throughout the body, all these are taken care of by Vyana Prana. And the next very, very important one is Prana. So what does Prana do? Now all these 4 are there. Someone needs to be there to manage this, right? Manager. So Prana is the manager. It is the one that is giving the energy to all the other pranas. So this is the all 5 pranas that we look at. Now one more very important thing here. See, we saw all these pranas are there, all 5 pancha pranas are there. Now how are they circulating in the body? How is this? You might have heard about it. You might have come across in the yoga classes as well. How is this circulating throughout the body?
Is it through the Ida and the Pingala?
Very nice, Gayatri ji. It is nadis, right? Nadis, what we call as nadis. Now, what is this nadi? Nadi, when we tell, we all have different, see, for me, till I myself experience these nadis, till I myself experience chakras, I had a completely different imagination about it. My visualization of how a prana looks in the body. I am a Marvel fan, Marvel movies. So I watch a lot of superhero movies. So whenever I used to imagine prana, it would be, if you know Marvel, then it was Electro. Electro character in Marvel movies has this blue light which is like sparkling. He, from his fingertips, he absorbs all the energy and he's glowing yellow and bright. So that's how I used to imagine prana to be. However, prana, yes, of course, it is kind of an electrical energy, but not so bright and not so what do you call, exaggerated. It is subtle. So the nadis that we talk about is not visible to the naked eye. It is, if you want to visualize, if you take one hair strand and if we split it into 10 microscopically, because the hair strand, once you take, you can't split it into 10. We all know it. Physically, it's impossible. But microscopically, we can. So when you split it into 10 strands, one strand, 1/10 of that hair strand will be one nadi. So that's how subtle it is. And there are 72,000 nadis in the body through which all these pranas circulate. All these pranas work in the body. So now the next concept. Now this concept, I'm sure most of us are very, very interested, because whenever I go to this, everyone is so excited. Food and vital energy. As soon as we say food, we are so excited, isn't it? We want to know what food, vital energy, food can affect our vital energy. Food can give us energy. Now we all know this, right? We all know very well. When we don't eat food, we are tired. When we eat food, we are very active. We feel happy. We are willing to do any sort of work. So yes, the food that we eat, the thoughts that we create, the sounds that we hear, the prana is so subtle that all these aspects affect our prana, our vital energy. So let us look at what yoga says about different foods giving us different kinds of energies. So last session, we saw how the food is affecting the physical body, Annamaya Kosha, where the food was divided into tamasic, rajasic and sattvic food, isn't it? So now we are looking at even subtler aspects of food. This is even subtle. Until and unless you pay attention to it every time you eat, you will not observe this. So the food, now let us leave the sattvic, rajasic and tamasic above. Now this is only about how the food is giving you energy. What foods give you energy? What foods take energy from you? And what foods doesn't do any effect on the vital energy? Now what are those three? There are three kinds, as I said: positive pranic food, negative pranic food and zero pranic food. What is positive pranic food? There are a few beautiful foods. When you eat, it will give you more energy. Your prana will start functioning at its highest peak energy. How some foods do have that effect on human body. Now the next one is negative pranic food. Now what does this negative pranic food do? Negative pranic food to digest also. Now I'm not even talking about giving energy to your body, but even to digest, it sucks the energy from the body. That is called as negative. Instead of giving the energy to you, the food is actually taking the energy from the body. Make sense? Make sense? Yeah. Now next is zero pranic. That is no energy at all. You eat, it is like junk. No, I wouldn't call it junk food. Junk food is negative pranic. So it is like, it doesn't matter. You eat, it doesn't give you energy, it doesn't take energy from you. So those are the three kinds. So a few minutes, it is very, very important, or helps us a lot in our daily life. So I'm going to talk about what are the positive pranic and what are the negative pranic food. So the positive pranic food are like ghee, honey, ashgard, most of the vegetables, watery vegetables and fruits, that is watermelon, ashgard, lauki, bottle gourd, bridge gourd. The more water the vegetable has in it, naturally, it is positive pranic, because it is easily digestible and it gives you immediate energy, right? Especially ashgard. Ashgard is one beautiful vegetable which will give you a very, very high energy. It in itself as a vegetable has a lot of prana. So when you consume it, that prana gets added into it adds the prana, and you will feel more energetic. So especially if you are looking at any digestive issues, or you want to reduce fat in the body, or you have abdominal fat, drinking ashgard juice first thing early in the morning is very, very helpful. It cleanses your intestine, it absorbs all the toxins in the intestine, and it puts out the waste. Now, if most of you, if you're staying in Northern America where it's really cold during winters, please put some pepper along with ashgard juice if you decide to consume it, because ashgard in itself is very cooling. So during the cold regions, if you consume ashgard, it might affect in forming kapha. So to avoid that, you need to put pepper in the juice. Now, what are the negative pranic food? Let's come to negative. What are the negative pranic food? Negative pranic food are like, I think we all know the answer. I'll anyways tell. It is garlic, onion, meats, processed foods, anything that is cooked for a long time and kept in the refrigerator, stored in the refrigerator, they're all negative pranic. It might taste very good for the tongue, it might digest easily, but it is not adding prana, rather it will start taking prana from you. You will feel tired. Then the next is zero pranic food. A few zero pranic food I can mention easily is tomatoes, potatoes. All potatoes is all all family of potatoes come under zero pranic food. It doesn't add any prana, it doesn't negate any prana. So these are the different kinds. I forgot to mention ginger. Ginger is also a positive pranic food. It's a very, very good addition to all our foods. Now, next, I want you to do one more activity. Now here for this activity, we will experience prana. Experiencing prana is since it is very, very subtle, we have different techniques through which we can experience. So this technique, actually, I have taken from a method called as PET, pranic energization technique. We use this to treat or to help support the chemotherapy cancer patients, to energize them, to heal them, to help them rejuvenate their cells during the chemotherapy sessions. So it helps them to heal faster. We give the boost through the pranic energization technique to heal their cellular level defects along with chemotherapy, and it is a very, very effective, and there are a lot of research done, and it has worked on thousands of people. So I thought I will take a bit of it. We are not going to do the complete PET. We are going to do just a bit of it to experience prana in our body. Now, which prana are we going to experience today? We are going to experience Vyana. Vyana, what is Vyana? It is the one that is circulating throughout the body. Now, Vyana, how is it? Why is it easy to experience? Vyana also is outside the body. It extends beyond the physical body. So, because it extends beyond the physical body, it is much easier to experience for us. Okay. So, for this particular Vyana, what we are going to do is we are going to use a few the mudras to recognize the difference between nerve impulses and prana. See, most of us will get confused between nerve impulse and prana. Nerve impulse always travels in one direction, that is from your fingertip or from your hands to your brain and brain to hand. So it only travels in one direction at a time. But prana is very, very rajasic, that is, it is very active. It travels all throughout. It is always moving. So it's not like it can move only in one direction and come back in one direction, right? So we want to make out the difference between nerve impulses and prana. So the I'll give you the steps, because we are going to do it with our eyes closed. When I give the instructions for them to do different, move the hand away and come closer, generally people get confused and they do it variedly. So first I'm going to give you all the steps that we are going to do, all the mudras that we are going to use, and then we will do it together. Now, what are the different mudras? First is Chin Mudra. We all know Chin Mudra that we use regularly. All the, the thumb and the forefinger touching at the tip. Now here, very important, when you are holding the mudra, most of us will press it. You'll press. We should not be pressing it. It should just be touching, very, very subtle, just touch, right? Now this is Chin Mudra. Next is, you will close the fingers, close the 3 fingers and hold the thumb and the forefinger. This is called as Chinmaya Mudra, right? Clear? Now when I say we are going to, first these mudras we are going to use to recognize the nerve impulses. So when I say gentle touch, that is release and hold. Release your palm, release your fingers and hold. Can you see it? You will release your thumb and forefinger and hold it. Release and hold. Release and hold. Okay. So this is one exercise that we are going to do both with Chin Mudra and Chinmaya Mudra. Okay. Now the next one is Adi Mudra. That is, you are going to place your thumb near your ring finger, below the ring finger, and close the rest of the fingers. And when I say tight and release, you are going to tighten the fist and release. Tighten the fist, release. Tighten the fist. Do not open your hands. See, you're holding it very lightly. So you'll tighten the fist and release. Tighten, release. Tighten and release. Okay. All this we are going to do. These mudras, we are going to hold it palm down on the lap. Right. Now, the next very, very important exercise or important technique that we are going to do is through Namaskara Mudra. This is what everyone gets confused. Now in Namaskara Mudra, you are going to hold your palm here. Now from Namaskara Mudra, we are going to first recognize the nerve impulses and then we will move on to prana. So first you will press the Namaskara Mudra together and release. Press and release. Press, do not take it out, just tighten the mudra, release. Tighten the mudra and release. Okay. Now after this, the next technique, I'm going to ask you to move your hands just a few centimeters away. 1 centimeter away, right? And then you'll bring it closer. Then again 1 centimeter away, bring it closer. Then we are going to move it 9 inches away, bring it closer. Then again 9 inches away, bring it closer. Then again we will move 5 inches away from each other. And then, this is very, very important, we are going to move our hands clockwise and anti-clockwise. Okay, clockwise and anti-clockwise. And then we are going to change the directions, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Clear? Clear? So we are going to do this together. You will keep your complete awareness on my instructions. Follow the instructions. You know all the mudras now, what we are going to do. So if you get confused, just listen to the instructions which follows and you will be able to get it. Okay. So let's begin. Sit with your spine straight. Place your palm facing downward on your lap. Facing downward on your lap. Back straight. Neck straight. Bring a gentle smile on your face. Slowly bring your awareness to your breathing. Observe your breathing. Observe the cool air entering the nostrils and the warm air flowing out. Now we are going to follow the path of the breath. As you inhale, the cold air is entering your nostril, going to your nasal cavity, down to your trachea, bronchi, filling your lungs. Your lungs are expanding. As you exhale, the lungs collapses. The air moves upward towards your bronchi, trachea, nasal cavity, nose, and down out. The warm air flows out through your nostrils. A few more. As you inhale, the cold air enters your nostrils, moves upward towards your nasal cavity, trachea, bronchi, filling up your lungs. As you exhale, the lung collapses, contracts, moves up towards your bronchi, trachea, nasal cavity, up, downward and up, out through your nostrils. One more time. As you inhale, the cold air enters your nostrils, nasal cavity, trachea, bronchi, filling up your lungs. Take deep breath and fill your lungs completely. As you exhale, the lung contracts. The air moves upward through your bronchi, trachea, nasal cavity and down out through your nostrils. Now bring your palm into Chin Mudra, facing downward. Hold the thumb and the forefinger, very slightly touching. Do not hold it tight. Now release the mudra and touch it again. Release your fingers, touch. Release your fingers, touch. Release and touch. Bring your awareness to what is happening when you release your fingers and touch it again. There are nerve impulses which travels from your fingers upward through to your brain. The impulse is traveling from your fingers to your arm, shoulder, neck, and upward to your brain. Touch and release, touch and release, touch and release. Now slowly bring your palm into Chinmaya Mudra. Fold the rest of the fingers, forefinger and thumb touching. Once again, touch and release, touch and release. Just your forefinger and thumb, touch and release. Follow the nerve impulses. Very, very subtle. Observe how beautifully the impulse travels through your brain. Touch and release. Now bring your palm into Adi Mudra. Thumb touching the ring finger's base, rest of the fingers make into a fist. Now here, once again, tighten and release. Tighten, release. Tighten, release. Once again, observe the nerve impulses. As you tighten and release, the impulse traveling from your palm, follow its path to your brain. Tighten and release. Tighten and release. Tighten and release. Now bring both your palm to Namaskara Mudra. Once again, tighten and release. Tighten and release. Tighten and release. Tighten, release. Tighten and release. Once again, observe the nerve impulses traveling from your palm upward to your brain. Tighten, release. Tighten, release. Tighten and release. Now slowly bring both your palm away from each other, just 1 centimeter. Just 1 centimeter away from each other. Bring it back to Namaskara Mudra. Move your palm away from each other to 5 inches. Bring it closer. Back to Namaskara Mudra. Once again, move your palm away to 5 inches. Bring your palm closer to each other, but do not touch them. Just 1 centimeter away from each other. Now slowly move your palm away to 9 inches. Bring it closer to 1 centimeter away from each other. Do not touch the palm, just keep it away. Just 1 centimeter. Once again, 9 inches apart. Bring it closer to 1 centimeter. One more time, move it away to 9 inches apart. Bring it closer to 5 inches. Now here, we will move the palm clockwise and anti-clockwise. Slow movement. Very slowly move your palm clockwise and anti-clockwise. Bring your awareness to what is happening in between your palm. Do not go for fast movements. Keep it slow and steady. Now exchange the direction of both the palm. Back to center. Now move your palm closer 1 centimeter away from each other. Now let us chant one round of Makara here. Take a deep breath in. Observe the subtle changes in between your palm after the chanting of Makara. Now once again, slowly move your palm 5 inches apart. Bring your palm together 1 centimeter apart. Do not touch them. Keep it at a distance of 1 centimeter. Once again, move your palm 5 centimeter apart and bring it closer 1 centimeter apart. Hold it there. Try and observe all the subtle changes in between your palm. Now bring your palm together to Namaskara Mudra. A few deep breaths. We will close the session by praying good to everyone on this earth. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palm together. Cup them on your eyelids. With a few blinks and a gentle smile, slowly open your eyes.